What's up YouTube, it's Yuki Penguin. Today I have a very special video for your faces. As you can see in front of you, I have improved the Kuriboh deck and I think I've made it meta relevant in the format that it is these days. And I've been testing this deck out against many other decks, all my friends' decks. I have only lost 2 duels since playing it and I've played about 15 with it. I have outed many meta decks with this deck and I think I have come to the conclusion that I'm actually going to bring this to tournaments in the future if I ever go to tournaments, because it's going to surprise a lot of people. There's a lot of surprises in the deck too, so it will throw a lot of people off. It's not just a fun deck. If you build this deck, it is so good to play. It just stops your opponent from attacking basically. Your battle damage is always going to be 0. Your opponent literally has to play Trick Stars to out this deck because of the effect damage. But I do have something for Trick Stars also, and there's something for all different kinds of decks in this format. So let's get into the deck profile and I'll show you what I mean. I'm like the Heston Blumenthal of Yu-Gi-Oh! So basically I'm a world-renowned chef who basically creates ingenuity kind of cards basically. So first card, obviously you want to play Kuriboh. Kuriboh is, you know, everyone knows what Kuriboh does these days. I'm not going to explain Kuriboh to everyone. You just discard it basically. Next card, everyone wants to play this card in the deck. You kind of have to play this card in the deck. I always recommend playing triple Kuriboh. Kuriboh's fantastic in the graveyard, so if he's destroyed by battle, it doesn't even matter. If your opponent declares an attack whilst this card is in the graveyard, you can banish it and special summon as many Kuribohs as you want from the graveyard. It is one of the best combo plays. Alright, your opponent gets a replay on the battle and destroys more Kuribohs, but why does it matter when you have more board swarming effects? Next card, double Wing Kuriboh. So Wing Kuriboh, when this card is on the graveyard and is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, the effect activates. After activation, during this turn, any battle damage is reduced to 0. Very, very good card. Then I play double Clear Kuriboh. So Clear Kuriboh is also a very good Kuriboh card to use. I can discard this card during either player's turn if an effect would inflict damage on me. So some of the time you will have that with different decks maybe. But obviously when this card is in the graveyard, you can actually banish this, but it has to be, your opponent has to declare a direct attack. You can banish Clear Kuriboh, draw a card if it's a monster, which I guarantee to you 90% of the time is always a monster. And then you can just special summon it in defense, so you're basically saving your life and your bacon basically. Then I play double Curry Bandit. So Curry Bandit, during the end phase, if this card was normal summon this turn, you can tribute this card, excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. Your opponent would be foolish to let you have this effect, because if it's a spell or trap and you have 3 other Kuribohs, you can add the spell or trap depending on what that is, it's up to you. And then obviously with other Kuribohs going to the graveyard, you can combo and synergy off with Kuriboh. So all these Kuribohs in graveyard is not even an issue. Then I play Gay Pride Rainbow Kuriboh. Fantastic card. Gay Pride Kuriboh, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the monster and equip it from your hand. It cannot attack. Very good first effect. But with direct attack, whilst this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card. You have to banish it when it leaves the field. Not often, because your opponent just gets thrown off by it. Sometimes they don't even replay the battle, so you're just leaving Rainbow Kuriboh on the field. It's very good, especially if you want to go into your XZ's plays. Next card, I play the 1 Sphere Kuriboh. That looks like Ra Sphere mode, but we'll get into that in a moment. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you basically send this card from your hand to the graveyard. The attacking monster turns into defense position. Don't worry about the second effect, we don't play any ritual monsters in the deck. People question why I'm playing Kaiser Horse Raider. It's a dark attribute. You need dark and light in this deck, especially for the other cards that you're playing. If you control no monsters, it's a free special summon and it's a free monster on the board, so you can get into your extra deck on your turn, especially with other Kuribohs. And then this is why I do play the light and dark. So you need some sort of boss monster in the deck. You need some sort of monster that's going to deal a lot of damage, and you can actually banish monsters with this card also. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, fantastic card to use. And then this is where the deck gets a little bit out of control with monsters. So I play 3 Galaxy Soldiers. The synergy in this deck with 3 Galaxy Soldiers is fantastic. Seeing as I'm playing a lot of light monsters in the deck, does it matter if you discard a light level Kuriboh? It really doesn't matter. So you're bringing out Galaxy Soldiers, you can go into Cyber Dragon Infinity, or you can go into number 14 Greedy Saramaya if you're going into Trick Star plays. So very, very good if you want to play that. And then I play the 1 Ring Dragon of Ra sphere mode and the 1 Ring Dragon of Ra. Again, god tier Kuriboh's at its best. I'm trying with this deck. I haven't been able to bring Ra out yet because I'm just using the effect of sphere mode so I can just out all my opponent's monsters. You know, if you're playing the Goki matchup, if your opponent's swarming the board with Trip Stars, or if you're swarming the board with Sky Strikers or Vampires, you know you have sphere mode to tribute them off and send them all to the graveyard. And then obviously Ring Dragon of Ra sphere mode would switch control of it to be on your side of the field, so you can special summon the Ra from your deck or hand. And then last but not least, for the monsters, 2 Draw Unlock Birds to shut out any problematic monster effects or any kind of effects that bring cards basically to your hand. Off to the spells. 2 Flute of Summoning Kuriboh's. I feel like this card needs to be in the deck to make better synergy. So you're adding Kuriboh's or Wing Kuriboh's from your deck to your hand, or to special summon a Kuriboh or Wing Kuriboh from your deck. Very good card. Your opponent kind of needs to out this as quick as possible. 1 Multiply to tribute off the Kuriboh, so you can special summon as many tokens as you want, and that means you can go into Firewall Dragon, you can go into all different kinds of plays with that. I also play Detonate because if I do have a few Kuriboh's on the field or Wing Kuriboh's, Detonate will destroy them and destroy as many monsters your opponent controls. I really have thought about this deck. It is working really nicely. A lot of you are gonna, you know, bash this deck a bit because it's just a fun deck, but I'm going to tournaments with this, so I think it's quite fun to play. You know, like I said, you're throwing your opponent off guard. I definitely recommend the 2 Card of Demise. So Card of Demise in this deck, again, works fantastic. You're drawing 3 cards, you're using the cards to your advantage, you're playing the cards, but even if you don't have the cards that you need and you're playing this, you're sending other cards to the graveyard like Kuriboh's hopefully, and then you combo it off from the graveyard. And then I play the 1 Scapegoat. I was playing this at 2, no need really, because you're swarming the board even more with other tokens. Scapegoat gets your Mrs. Radiance out, goes into your extended combo plays from your extra deck. Limited card, 1 for 1, you're sending 1 monster from your hand to graveyard, special summoning a Kuriboh from your deck. Then I play Burial from a Different Dimension. Again, this card, fantastic because you're almost resetting your Kuriboh effects or any card that you have banished, so you're bringing them back into the graveyard so you can reset the plays, so you can actually combo off again and stop your opponent from attacking you, minus the effect damage like I said, so you can go into number 14, or you can go into the side deck, which I'll show you in a moment, which has cards that actually stop effect damage also, depending on your matchup. Then I play the 1 Monster Reborn and the 1 Soul Charge. This deck is almost like 2002 format. Like, your opponent is forgetting about everything. Like, you've got hand traps and negations these days, but your opponent is forgetting about certain cards that actually are good for this meta relevancy. Then I play my trap cards. 2 Evenly Matched always gets me out of trouble because most of the time I have no cards on the board, so Evenly Matched will help me banish all those cards face down. The 1 Battle Trap of Magic Cylinder, like I said, your opponent doesn't really think about battle traps these days, they're just thinking about hand traps and negation. Battle Traps is back, I'm telling you right now. And last but not least, the surprise of the deck, Virus Cannon. You're tributing any number of monsters, so you're getting rid of all your opponent's monsters basically, and then your opponent has to throw all their spell cards back, depending on the amount of monsters, into the graveyard. Virus Cannon is such a good card. I don't know why people don't play it, but I love the card. Anyway, going into the extra deck, so it's very, you know, the norm basically. So you got the 1 Sayuja Skuldred, 1 Firewall Dragon, then I played Nightmares with it, Nightmare Griffin, Nightmare Unicorn, and you can get these out at mostly any time. Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, the 1 Trigate Wizard, which sometimes I play if I need to out certain monsters and banish them. The 1 Deco Talker, highly recommended. Then I play the 2 Mrs. Radiant. You can pause the video, sorry if I am going really quick. 1 Proxy Dragon, 1 Link Spider. They're more for your Trigate Wizard plays. And then into my XZs, obviously for the Galaxy Soldiers, the Cyber Dragon Nova into Infinity. I was thinking of playing Cyber Dragons in the deck so you can Nova, special summon a Cyber Dragon, and then you have another level 5 on the board. It's completely up to you how you play. You could use instant fusion along with Panzer Dragon, and then obviously extra deck into something else, into a fusion card. I'm thinking of doing that. Let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea. And then last but not least, there's number 14, Greedy Saramaya, which stops Trickstars in their tracks, because any infect damage that you would take, you would inflict back to your opponent. So that's the extra deck. And then last but not least, just a very quick side deck if you need to change and weigh out your options. Another Kaiser Volst Raider. Highly recommend 2 Link Slayers in the deck, because they work as your Twin Twisters as the deck. It does not matter if you discard the cards, because hopefully they're Kuribohs at the time. Kuribohs work from the graveyard, and then you're destroying 2 spells or traps on the card, on the field, sorry. And then I highly recommend also 2 Prime Material Dragons. They're a light attribute, very good card. And then any effect that would inflict damage to a player increases the life points instead. So like I said, you're stopping your opponent from attacking you with the Kuribohs, you're reducing your damage to 0, and then at the same time, Prime Material Dragon will increase your life points should you need it in the deck. Fantastic common card, I will admit. And then obviously I play another Envoy at the beginning if I need to. There's Light Pulsar Dragon as another effect monster and another boss monster for the deck. You know, it requires 1 light, 1 dark monster to be banished. You're using Burial from a different dimension to bring them back, resetting the board. And obviously you can actually bring this out from the graveyard by discarding a light and dark monster. Very, very cool. These 2 work together. So 1 Transcendent Wings and 1 Wing Kuriboh level 10. Once Wing Kuriboh level 10 is out, basically you can tribute this card, destroy all face-up attack position monsters on your opponent's side of the field, and then inflict damage equal to the combined original attacks of all those monsters. So if you're playing an opponent who swarms the board, this card is actually fantastic to do that. I also play 1 Scapegoat, there's the other one. Another Burial, there's the other one. It's up to you how you're playing it. And then my 2 trap cards is Heavy Storm Duster, because I don't really declare an attack. You're not discarding a card, you're activating it like Twin Twisters. You're activating it and then you're not just conducting your battle phase, but that doesn't matter because you're destroying 2 spells and traps. Another Magic Cylinder is self-explanatory. And then last but not least, I have 2 more Xyz cards. Sylvan Princess Sprite. Basically you detach a material and then you can add a spell or trap card to your hand. If it's not, you just send it to the graveyard. And Constellar Pleiades, another good card for two level 5 light monsters. So you'd go into it once per turn during either player's turn. You can detach an Xyz material from this card, then target 1 card on the field, return it at target to the hand. Again, great if you're playing linked monsters. It's good to just out anything that your opponent has on the board. So I really do recommend that card. And last but not least, I haven't thrown it into the deck. I do not own the card. I will soon own this card. I will leave it on screen for you right here. This is number 54, Lionheart. It requires level 1 monsters. Lionheart will just protect you from anything, and you can detach its material, and then basically you're just comboing off even more. So Lionheart is one of the underrated Xyz cards of the deck because it's only a rank 1. It only has 100 attack and defense, but your opponent cannot do any battle damage to it. It is such a good card. Anyway guys, if you have enjoyed this video and you really enjoy the ingenuity that Yugi Penguin has just showed you, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, show me some more support, leave a comment in the comment section telling me what you think of this deck, what it can improve on. I think it's actually standard fantastic at this moment. If you want to add Ash Blossoms to it, go for it, but I'm sticking at 40 cards in this deck and I could always just swap out. I do not own Ash Blossoms, so if anyone wants to help me with Ash Blossoms, there is a Patreon link in the description below. Please donate any kind of money you want to me. It's only $2 or £2 a month to help Yugi Penguin aspire to reach his goals. Thank you very much for watching guys. Please leave a like and I'll see you in the next one. Yugi Penguin signing out.